Have you ever found yourself wrestling with how to truly connect with someone?
Yeah, maybe you're trying to build a real friendship, right? Or just get your point across effectively.
Exactly. And in those moments, have you ever thought, like, is there a genuinely good way to do this?
Or maybe are some approaches just fundamentally flawed, even, damaging.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here to unpack the wisdom hidden in books, in the insights of, well, some really great thinkers.
And today we're diving into something fascinating, maybe even a bit startling,
Yeah, we're exploring human influence, how we build relationships.
in looking at two really, really different philosophies on how people interact, persuade, and form bonds.
One of these you might find is kind of surprising, a bit unsettling even, maybe like a quick fix that often blows up.
Right. Well, the other one, it feels more like enduring wisdom, a path that feels more human and maybe, just maybe, works better long term.
What's really interesting here is how these perspectives, which seem totally opposite, actually help us get a deeper handle on human nature.
Yeah, and how effective interaction really works, even though they suggest such different ways to, gain influence.
We're drawing from some really thought-provoking stuff today, excerpts from Robert Greene's Daily Laws.
Which is known for being pretty provocative about power dynamics.
Definitely. And then there's Ryan Holiday's Daily Dad.
And despite the name, it's got these universal lessons on guidance, respect, stuff that applies way beyond parenting.
And we'll also weave in some powerful quotes from historical figures, cultural icons, people who've really shaped how we think about connection.
So our mission, if you like, for this deep dive,
Yeah, our mission is to really unpack these two very distinct paths.
one that, maybe surprisingly, tries to create a need in someone else, like an emotional gap you promised to fill.
And then the other path, that seeks connection through, well, genuine respect, empathy, understanding,
So we want to figure out which one actually builds lasting, meaningful relationships.
and which one, even if it looks good at first, just leads to superficial stuff, or worse.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're going to look at some ideas that might challenge your assumptions about what really makes people connect and stay connected.
Okay, let's jump right in. One of our sources calls this the mean way to make friends.
The mean way. That sounds inviting.
Right. It comes straight from Robert Greene's Daily Laws. And it's a concept that feels pretty controversial, maybe genuinely unsettling.
What's the core idea?
Greene basically suggests that to influence someone, to make them want you around or want your ideas, you might need to actively create a wound in them.
Create a wound. Wow.
Yeah, you heard that right. Deliberately make someone feel a lack and insecurity, something missing. That's a pretty cold idea, isn't it?
It sounds quite Machiavellian, doesn't it? Like the ends justify the means, even if the means are kind of ruthless.
Exactly. Manipulation in pursuit of power or influence.
And Greene actually roots this idea in, believe it or not, ancient mythology. Plato's Symposium.
Plato.
Yeah.
Really, how does that connect?
Well, it's not just a footnote. It's about the nature of desire itself. In the dialogue, Diotima explains the very unique parentage of Eros, the god of love and desire.
Okay, Eros. I think most people picture like a cherub with a bow and arrow.
Right, but his origins are interesting. His father is Porus Contrivance, or cunning,
Cunning.
and his mother is Penia, poverty or need.
Wait, so love itself is born from cunning and need?
Yeah.
That's not the usual story.
Not at all. It totally shifts how we think about where desire comes from. It's not about abundance.
So what does that mean for Eros' nature?
Diotima says it defines him. He's perpetually in need, always seeking, always contriving ways to fill that gap, that inherent lack. He embodies this constant hunger.
Wow. So Greene takes this mythological origin and applies it to us, the human relationships.
Precisely. His interpretation is that love or desire or even just influence can't really take root unless the other person feels a profound need and absence within themselves first.
And the arrows, that's where the wound comes in.
That's the idea. The arrows pierce the flesh, metaphorically speaking, making people feel that lack, that ache, that hunger, and emptiness that supposedly only involvement with the seducer can fill.
So you create the void.
And then position yourself as the only thing that can fill it.
So, practically speaking, if you want to influence someone romantically, professionally, whatever Greene's advice is, literally, to create a wound in your victim.
Victim, he uses that word.
Yeah. Aiming at their soft spot, the chink in their self-esteem.
It's not about being overtly cruel, though. That might backfire.
So it's subtle, more insidious.
Exactly. It's about exploiting vulnerabilities quietly. That's where the cunning part comes in, right?
Right, and that's where the nuance and maybe the real danger lies.
Yeah.
Green gives specific tactics.
Like what?
Like if someone seems stuck in a rut, maybe bored, dissatisfied,
Okay, yeah, we all feel that sometimes.
you might innocently bring it up. Maybe mention how exciting your life is, or subtly contrast their situation with others who are, thriving.
Oh, I see. So you're not offering help. No, not genuine help. The goal is to expand that insecurity, that anxiety, until it becomes a real ache.
And then you become the answer, the relief, the escape.
That's the strategy. It plays on basic human needs for growth, novelty, connection, but twists them to create dependency, not real connection.
It really makes you wonder, what kind of relationship is actually built on exploiting someone's insecurity like that? Can it even last?
A very good question. It seems inherently unstable.
It feels incredibly manipulative. You're basically saying, let me make your world look dull so I can look exciting.
And it gets even more specific. The Daily Law from Green actually advises, try to position yourself as coming from outside, as a stranger of sorts.
A stranger. Why?
Because you're supposed to represent change, difference, a break from their routine. You need to seem exotic, disruptive.
So you actively make them feel like their life is boring and their friends are less interesting.
That's the implication. Make their current reality feel insufficient so that you shine by comparison. You're not just an alternative, you're actively devaluing what they have.
Wow. That's pretty bleak.
The psychology is quite stark, isn't it? It taps into our fear of stagnation, our desire for novelty, maybe that quiet need for external validation.
So when someone's already feeling a bit down or unfulfilled,
They become more vulnerable to someone promising excitement or a big change, Green says. Be that force. Disrupt their comfort, maybe even how they see themselves.
and then swoop in as the answer to the void you helped create or amplify.
Exactly. It's designed to cultivate dependency and longing, not mutual connection.
But okay, thankfully our source material pushes back on this pretty hard, right?
Immediately, critically, it asks a very simple, very direct question to you, the listener.
What's the question?
How would you feel if someone made you think your toys were dumb, your friends were boring, and your life wasn't good enough?
Oof, yeah. That puts it right back on a human level, doesn't it? A real gut check.
It cuts through all the theory and manipulation and just focuses on empathy, on the receiving end of that strategy.
It highlights the negative emotional impact.
Absolutely. And it starts to set the stage for why this approach, even if it seems effective for short-term influence, is probably pretty problematic for building anything real or lasting.
So this method might seem powerful, but does it build true connection? Or just control?
That's the crucial question. And it leads us nicely into a very, very different perspective, one that feels, well, a lot more sustainable.
Okay, so after exploring that rather intense, maybe uncomfortable, mean way, let's shift gears completely.
A welcome shift, perhaps.
Definitely. Let's pivot to a philosophy that offers a refreshing contrast. This comes from Ryan Holiday's Daily Dad.
And again, don't let the title fool you. The insights here go way beyond parenting.
Right. It's about influence and building strong relationships generally. This is what we're calling the nice way, guiding with wisdom, with respect.
And Holiday starts with this really blunt but incredibly insightful quote from the screenwriter William Goldman.
Oh, yeah. That's the quote.
Nobody knows anything.
Huh. Nobody knows anything. Simple, but deep. What's the implication there?
It suggests humility, right? If we connect that to the bigger picture, humility isn't just a virtue, it's a starting point for genuine influence.
Meaning even people in charge, parents, bosses, experts, don't have all the answers.
Exactly. It challenges that whole know-it-all attitude, which, interestingly, is almost necessary for Green's stranger from the outside persona, the one who supposedly has all the answers.
That's a huge contrast, isn't it? Green says project superiority and excitement. Holiday says start from shared uncertainty, recognizing limitations, a total flip of the script.
A fundamental shift. Holiday then talks about the dilemma of parental authority, but again, it applies broadly.
Okay, how so?
As a parent or a leader, you do have authority. Legal, moral, hierarchical. You control resources, make decisions.
Sure, that's just reality.
But he warns against just wielding that power without real conversation, without engaging with the other person's view. Because the risk is when you just force kids or employees or anyone to do things without explaining why, without validating their feelings. You accidentally teach them They have no power, no control, that their wishes don't really matter.
Wow. That's a fundamental disrespect for their agency, isn't it?
Mhm.
Whether it's a kid or a colleague. It undermines their sense of self.
Precisely. It erodes their belief that they can influence their own lives.
So thinking beyond parenting, what does this mean for how we treat anyone we're trying to guide or persuade?
If you constantly override someone's choices, even if you think you know best, you're setting up a bad dynamic. You're basically teaching them a disrespect for or disinterest in what they think they want.
You're teaching them their own judgment doesn't count next to yours.
Exactly. And Holiday points out this habit has serious long-term consequences because you won't always have that power over them.
Right. People grow up, situations change.
He gives examples.
Yeah.
Adult kids wanting to change majors, move away, change traditions, things parents might disagree with.
Yeah, happens all the time.
If your whole relationship was built on force or control, Holiday says it won't be able to weather the fallout from your egotistical implosion when they finally assert themselves.
Ouch. Egotistical implosion. That's blunt.
It's a stark warning. Building relationships on control is building on brittle ground. It forces us to ask. If you're so used to imposing your view, how can you possibly connect when the power shifts or when they become independent?
That makes so much sense. You've trained them to obey, not to trust your wisdom or engage with your reasoning because you never respected their reasoning.
Right. Genuine influence isn't about crushing their will. It's about guiding them towards better choices or a shared understanding or even just letting them make their own well-informed choice.
And Holiday has that really powerful analogy for this.
Yeah.
Something about gravity.
It's beautiful, he says. Use the gravity of your experience to move them gently in the direction they should go, instead of using the mass of your position as parent to force them that way.
Gravity versus mass. Okay, unpack that.
Mass is brute force. Crushing, overwhelming, imposing your will just because you can. It leads to resentment, passive resistance, broken trust. A short-term fix that poisons the well long-term.
Okay, so mass is bad. What about gravity?
Gravity is subtle, natural attraction. Pulling someone towards a good path through your wisdom, your understanding, your experience, the logic of your view, not coercion.
So leading by example, offering insights, letting them choose, rather than demanding obedience.
Exactly. It takes way more effort, patience. It's a balancing act, Holiday says, but it fosters autonomy. It makes the other person want to learn and grow because they feel respected.
It raises that question, doesn't it? How can we use that idea of gravity in our daily lives? As colleagues, friends, partners.
How do we become an attractive force through wisdom, not a coercive one through power? It's a fundamental shift in how we think about influencing others.
And what's cool is this isn't just Holiday's idea. These principles pop up again and again from so many wise voices throughout history.
Yeah, it really reinforces this nice way, showing it's not just nice, it's wise.
Okay, so building on that idea of guiding with wisdom and respect from Ryan Holiday, our source material brings in this great chorus of other voices.
Yeah, all reinforcing this nice way to connect and influence. These are ideas that have really lasted, offering a strong contrast to that whole create a wound thing.
They show that real impact comes from, well, light, not darkness.
Exactly. And first up, we have those incredibly profound words from Martin Luther King Jr.
What did he say?
Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Wow. Okay, that hits hard, and it directly refutes the green approach, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You can't fix negativity or insecurity by adding more negativity, by highlighting what's missing. It's about proactive, positive action, offering something restorative.
So simple, yet we forget it, right?
Yeah.
How does that apply directly to building a connection?
Well, you can't build friendship or trust by first making someone feel bad about themselves, pointing out flaws, devaluing their life.
You build it by offering positivity, care, empathy, warmth. You affirm them.
Right. You can't make someone feel good about you or themselves around you by starting with making them feel terrible. The first step sets the tone.
It's about radiating something desirable, understanding, compassion. That's what draws people in.
Exactly. Unlike trying to expose their darkness to make your own light seem brighter, one builds, the other dismantles.
Then there's Mary Tattletwell, an older source.
Yeah, an astute observer from way back. She said, "Nature hath bestowed upon us 2 ears and 2 eyes, yet but 1 tongue."
2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 tongue.
Okay. Which is an emblem unto us that though we hear and see much, yet ought we to speak but little.
Ah, so listen and observe more, talk less. Especially, I guess, less talking people into feeling bad. like Green suggests.
Precisely. It emphasizes active listening, keen observation over just talking.
What a great point about our own biology. So instead of using words to poke holes in someone's self-esteem,
You use your ears and eyes to truly understand them.
how does that build trust? Compared to trying to impose your view or create a need.
Because deep listening makes space for the other person. It validates their experience, signals you value them. That builds trust, psychological safety.
So they feel heard, seen, the opposite of feeling wounded or inadequate.
Right. When someone feels truly heard, they're more likely to open up, trust you, and maybe even be receptive to guidance later. It builds mutual respect.
And speaking of kindness, there's that Spanish proverb too.
Yes, a beautiful one. Sé amable con la gente poco amable. Ellos son quienes más lo necesitarán.
Which means,
Be kind to people who aren't kind. They're the ones who need it most.
wow, that's not just avoiding meanness, that's active kindness, even when it's hard.
Exactly. It pushes beyond neutrality to active benevolence, especially towards those who might seem undeserving. It's an act of compassion, leadership even.
So it directly counters making someone feel bad. Instead of creating a wound, you offer healing, understanding.
Yes. It suggests that even in tricky interactions, kindness can diffuse negativity, disarm hostility, maybe open up unexpected paths for connection. It can surprise people into being more receptive.
Then Nelson Mandela comes in with his perspective on empowerment.
Right. He famously said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world."
And the source connects this to
Teaching and helping people learn, which is framed as way more powerful than tricking them or making them feel bad.
so it aligns with Holiday's gravity of experience idea.
Here.
Sharing knowledge, not imposing will.
Exactly. It's about empowering others with knowledge, understanding, capabilities, not disempowering them with insecurity or dependency,
Real influence comes from helping people find their own solutions, grow independently.
which in turn builds their respect for your guidance because it leads to their flourishing, not just your control.
And Catherine O'Hara, the actress, she has relevant wisdom here too.
Yeah, a really insightful quote. Even before you've earned it, treat yourself and your career with the level of respect that you hope to one day deserve.
Okay, that's great career advice. How does it apply to relationships?
The source extends it beautifully. Be nice to yourself and other people, even before they prove they deserve it. Unconditional respect.
That's the total opposite of the wound approach, right?
Uh-huh.
Which implies people have to earn your help by feeling inadequate first.
Exactly. O'Hara's idea, applied this way, sets a high standard from the start. Proactive generosity of spirit. Assume worthiness. Don't wait for vulnerability to exploit.
It fosters an environment where trust and connection can actually grow.
It's an act of leadership in your own interactions.
And finally, Julius Caesar, an ancient leader,
He stated, "Experience is the teacher of all things."
meaning
People learn best by doing, by trying, by experiencing consequences, making mistakes, not by being forced or tricked.
so it reinforces guiding, not coercing, allowing autonomy, learning through natural experience.
Exactly. When you let people gain their own experience, even with bumps along the road, you empower them. They understand the value of real wisdom, maybe yours, because they've seen it play out.
So all these different voices, King, Tadwell, Mandela, O'Hara, Caesar, the proverb, they all point towards influence through respect, kindness, empowerment.
It really stacks up, doesn't it? The mean way might seem like a shortcut, but it leads nowhere good. The real question is which path actually lasts.
Okay, so we've got these two really starkly different philosophies on the table. The manipulative mean way versus the respectful nice way.
Yeah, we've explored the mechanics of both.
Now let's get down to, the brass tacks. Which one actually works long term for healthy, resilient relationships?
Well, our source material is pretty unambiguous about why that mean way of building things on insecurity just doesn't hold up.
It poses that really simple human question, Trial.
Yeah. How long would you want to be friends with someone like that? Probably not very long.
Makes sense. Relationships built on making people feel bad,
Yeah.
they just seem inherently fragile.
Exactly. The influence, if you can call it that, is fleeting. It's based on a negative emotion, lack, insecurity that people naturally want to escape. It's a relationship of desperation, not affection.
The source uses that analogy, right?
Yeah.
Building a house on sand.
Perfect analogy. It looks okay at first, but then it falls down.
So the moment the person realizes they're being manipulated or that their self-worth is being eroded,
The whole thing crumbles. They figure it out, and what follows isn't just disappointment. It's often anger, betrayal. Resentment builds, trust is gone, irreversibly.
it's just destined to fail.
And there's another interesting analogy the source uses, an older one.
Oh, yeah.
One who plants grapes by the side of the road and one who marries a pretty lady share the same problem.
Okay. What's the problem?
Other people might want to take what they have. The idea is when you try to control something precious by exploiting weakness or showing off, you actually invite competition, resentment. People want to break free.
Ah. So controlling people through insecurity or constantly highlighting your own superiority, it creates this unstable, high-friction situation.
Yeah, it becomes this constant battle to maintain control. It's exhausting, unsustainable. The energy involved just isn't worth any fleeting benefit.
Okay, so clearly, the mean way creates fragile, vulnerable connections, always at risk. But the nice way, how does that build something lasting?
Well, when you're consistently kind, when you genuinely respect people's feelings, their ideas, their agency, the whole dynamic just shifts profoundly.
How so?
They don't just tolerate you, they actively want to be around you because you make them feel good about themselves.
That's the huge difference, isn't it? Need versus want.
Exactly. In the mean way, they need you because you've engineered a lack. In the nice way, they choose you. They're genuinely attracted because you uplift them, empower them, make them feel valued.
It's genuine attraction, not dependency created through manipulation.
Right. And this loops back to that Catherine O'Hara idea, treating others with respect before they prove they deserve it.
That proactive kindness, it sets a different tone from the start.
You're not waiting for vulnerability. You're contributing to their well-being, their self-worth right away. That builds a positive feedback loop.
Powerful.
And the source gives that great example with parents and kids again.
Right, the listening part.
When parents genuinely listen, respect kids' ideas, those kids feel loved and important. When they grow up, they'll still want to talk to their parents and ask for advice because they remember feeling respected.
Truly heard and valued. It builds long-term loyalty, trust, a desire to stay connected.
Exactly. The relationship isn't based on a power imbalance or exploiting vulnerability, but on mutual respect, validation, positive reinforcement. That kind of bond deepens over time. It weathers challenges.
So the choice becomes incredibly clear, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The source lays it out.
Path 1, the mean way. Make people feel bad about themselves so they think they need us to feel better.
Path 2, the nice way. Help people feel good about themselves and respect their thoughts and feelings.
And the verdict. The mean way might work for a little while, but it always ends badly. It's short-sighted, a house on a fault line.
While the nice way,
It takes more work and patience, but it creates real friendships and profound connections that last forever.
so connecting this to the bigger picture. Authenticity, care, respect aren't just morally better.
They're practically, demonstrably more effective long-term. They build resilient relationships that benefit everyone involved, a virtuous cycle.
And it's so relatable. Just think about your own life.
Yeah.
Your best friends.
Yeah.
Do you like them because they make you feel bad?
Yeah.
Or because they make you feel good, seen, uplifted?
I bet it's because they make you feel good. It's such a simple thought experiment, but it really proves the point.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now as you navigate your relationships, try to make an impact, build your network?
It really comes down to your method and the consequences that follow.
All right, so we've really dug into these two opposing ways of thinking about influence and connection.
Yeah, the fragile, mean way versus the strong, nice way.
We've seen the pitfalls of building on insecurity and the lasting strength that comes from respect and care.
So now let's try to pull it all together, consolidate the wisdom from all these sources into some practical takeaways. What's the blueprint for the nice way?
What's fascinating is how these simple principles create this really solid, ethical framework for interacting effectively, moving away from manipulation towards real connection.
The sources consistently point towards a clear set of best practices for genuine influence and lasting relationships.
Okay, first one up, echoing Mary Tattlewill. Listen more than you talk. Remember, 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 tongue.
Right. It's not just politeness. It's about truly understanding, making people feel heard and validated, not just waiting to talk or impose your view.
It directly counters Green's tactic of talking people into feeling bad.
Absolutely. Active listening is an act of respect. It signals you value them. It disarms the wounds strategy because often that insecurity comes from feeling unheard or misunderstood.
By truly listening, leaning in, asking questions, reflecting back, you validate their experience.
You create psychological safety. You fill their need with genuine presence, not by creating a new deficit.
Okay, number 2 from that Spanish proverb, be kind, especially to people who aren't kind.
They need it most. This is challenging, right? It's active compassion, even when it's difficult.
It's choosing light over darkness, like MLK said.
Yeah, it's emotional maturity, inner strength. By responding with kindness to negativity, you disrupt the cycle. You don't mirror it.
You create a chance for a positive shift. Maybe disarm them, open a path for connection.
Exactly. An unexpected act of grace.
Third, respect other people's ideas, even if you don't agree. This taps into Ryan Holiday and William Goldman's "nobody knows anything."
Right. Drop the know-it-all posture. Engage with humility, curiosity, respect for their autonomy.
Your goal isn't to win or prove you're right.
It's to foster psychological safety, intellectual freedom. Let people share their real thoughts, their uncertainties. That's crucial for collaboration, problem-solving, real relationships.
Acknowledging that good ideas can come from anywhere.
Exactly. Diverse perspectives enrich everyone.
Fourth principle, help people learn and grow. Don't just fix things for them.
Yeah.
Empower them.
This is Mandela's point about education and Holiday's gravity of experience. True influence equips others, builds their capacity, fosters self-reliance.
It's not about making them dependent on you.
Right. Empowering others is maybe the highest form of positive influence. It strengthens their competence and deepens their respect for your guidance because it helps them flourish. It builds resilience in them and in the relationship,
You're investing in their future.
which benefits everyone.
Number 5, and this is key, be patient. Good things, especially real relationships, take time.
The mean way promises shortcuts, but they're illusions, built on sand.
Real connection needs consistent investment, understanding, patience.
Exactly. Rushing things leads to superficiality or collapse. Patience allows trust to develop organically, understanding to deepen, embrace the journey, don't demand an instant bond.
And finally, the big one that ties it all together, use love instead of meanness.
Light drives out darkness. You can't build positivity on negativity or exploiting wounds.
You build by consistently offering warmth, care, positive regard, seeing their worth.
It's the fundamental choice, an approach rooted in benevolence. It defines your character and the quality of your connections.
And when we actually do these things consistently,
Something transformative happens. The source says, we don't need to trick people into liking us.
no need for manipulation or engineering need.
Instead, they like us because we're genuinely good friends who make their lives better. It's that simple and that powerful.
The core difference is intent and method, isn't it? Manipulate for gain or contribute to well-being.
And the outcome, fake, fleeting connections or real, lasting relationships, follows directly from that choice. Hashtag outro.
So the big lesson here from all these different thinkers, ancient and modern, it's actually pretty simple, but really powerful.
What's the bottom line?
You can try to make friends or gain influence by being mean, tricky, exploiting insecurities, creating lack.
But
That path, it's unstable, full of resentment. It just never, ever works long term.
right. That mean way might feel powerful for a moment, that deceptive shortcut, that illusion of control.
But it ends in isolation, broken relationships, maybe just emptiness. It's that house on sand, destined to crumble.
Leaving dust and disappointment.
The nice way, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely takes more effort, more patience, self-awareness, real empathy.
It means choosing respect and kindness over manipulation, even when it's hard, even when the payoff isn't immediate.
But the reward, the outcome.
Real friends, authentic connections, lasting bonds that stick with you, that deepen, that enrich your life.
Because they're built on that solid foundation.
Yeah.
Trust, mutual respect, shared growth.
Which really brings up that important question for everyone listening. How will you consciously choose to use your own gravity
Your wisdom, your experience, your character.
to shape the connections around you, building them on respect and authentic value, not perceived need or manufactured insecurity? It's a choice we make every day.
So the next time you want someone to genuinely like you or listen to you or connect, remember this deep dive. Instead of making them feel bad so they think they need you, try making them feel genuinely good, seen, valued, so they want to be around you.
That's the fundamental difference, isn't it?
Between fake friends and real friends. And real friends, as we've definitely seen today, they are always, always better.
Something to think about.
Definitely something to mull over as you navigate your world. Until our next deep dive.